Hello, we are live with Dharma Talk Tuesday, and before I start today's content, I just want to share with you. You may have seen my Instagram story. Duke has had a very big day today. I'll share with the details of that in just a moment. But first, Duke, what are you playing with? Duke, go get it. This is his blankie that he doesn't go anywhere without. He's currently playing with a little bowl. He's being very camera shy right now. Duke, you're being so camera shy. He was being so excited. Now he's calming down. Perfect. He knows when Mama's about to go on video. He's got to calm his butt down. That's what's happening. So before I get into content, this morning, you guys, I was just, filling out my ballot to get ready to go and vote. And I was filling out my ballot and I heard these birds and I was like, wow, those birds sound very, very near. And then I just kind of turned around and over on the other side of the house, there were two birds. Not one, but two flying inside the house. So I'm like, oh my God, gotta get the Instagram camera out. And then I get over there to obviously help them out, open the door wider so they can find their way out and everything. And then Duke sees them. One of them starts to lose altitude as it's flapping desperately. It gets to eye level with Duke. And the other one, meanwhile, is flying out. The other one makes its way out, but this one that gets to eye level. So Duke thinks he's a person and he uses his paws to catch things. He doesn't use his mouth, he uses his paws. So he's so playful right now. So this bird lowers, and instead of using his mouth like a normal dog, he just kind of backs up and swats at it a little bit, and it lands on the ground. And then he goes to investigate to touch it, and he stepped on it and he squished it and it died. And that's what happened today in the Dharma house. The predator. I just got a phone call, sorry. So anyway, that's how my day started. And then I went off to go vote. Hearts and likes if you have gone and voted today. Give me some hearts, give me some likes. I want to see who my voters are out there. If you went and exercised your civil right to vote. Hearts and likes, hearts and likes. All right, so I want to do a video. I'm actually redoing some content that I did a few weeks ago. God, this light is so bright. Now that it's daylight savings time, I can't use natural light anymore. It is pitch black outside here. Did you know one of the propositions on the ballot was to get rid of daylight savings time, or whatever it's called, to get rid of the time change? Isn't that cool? I'm just trying to reduce the light a little bit and see if this helps. Okay, I think that'll help. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so I posted a video a few months ago, and it was one of my most successful videos. It generated tens of thousands of views and hundreds of comments and a lot of shares, and it got deleted. It actually got deleted off of this platform. It got totally deleted. I went back to go review it and to send it to someone, and I couldn't find it for the life of me, and I realized, wow, a lot of my videos have gotten deleted. So it's really interesting. It kind of gets you thinking, why would this amazing content be getting deleted? And I don't want to get conspiracy theorist on you, but I will tell you that what I teach actually changes the wealth dynamic of this country. It empowers you in such a way, it empowers my clients, it empowers you in such a way that you aren't part of the feast famine cycle, or even just the famine cycle. You leave that cycle and you find yourself in this really high level of manifesting and a vibration of just peace and spaciousness and having what you need, having more than what you need. That's where you find yourself. And whenever I hear ripping noises, I need to look and see what's happening. Fortunately, it's his toy and not my furniture. And so there's a lot of people on the planet who want to keep the status quo and don't want people to learn how powerful they truly are when they're in alignment and when they're healthy and when they've got energy flow moving in a supportive way. So it's kind of crazy to think about, but yes, I had some videos that got deleted. This was my best video I've ever done, and it got totally deleted. And this one might get deleted too, and that's fine, because I'm going to save it this time. But I'm sharing that with you because I just want to say, this is not what I was going to talk about, but a side tangent. When you are doing powerful work, when you're taking a stand for transformation on the planet, when you're taking a stand for people's lives to totally change and get better, you will encounter haters, you will encounter resistance, you will encounter obstacles. And I just gotta say, when people have moments of like, oh, maybe it's a sign, like this is a sign I should shut it down, or this is a sign, like things got hard, I should stop. I just want to say, like, no, that resistance is right where it's meant to be, because it's like what it says in The Alchemist. I love that book, The Alchemist. It's like, don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. You know, so many of those people gave up right before their biggest opportunity, and your biggest obstacle will come right before your biggest opportunity. Big obstacles look very different for different people. For one person, it might look like receiving a hater email. For another person, it might look like confusion. Like I went through a period of confusion and fogginess and lack of clarity on my vision. I didn't feel inspired by my vision. So that's how an obstacle looked for me in that moment. Oh, I just realized I'm getting comments here and I had to swipe it over. Thank you for the hearts and likes, you guys. Thank you for the comments. So anyway, obstacles look different for different people, and like I know all of you know what I'm talking about. So like you have to be really honest with yourself. Like if you're encountering an obstacle, is it about like something authentic? Maybe. More likely, it's like you're about to hit another level and it's time to dig deep. So what happened with me is my obstacle was, oh my God, I just cut a really epic video that just did really well, like my best video ever, and you're telling me I gotta do it again? Okay, that's fine. I'm willing to do that, because the thing is, like, maybe someone's gonna come onto this video that didn't hear it the first time around, or they're gonna hear it differently, or I'm gonna be better, hopefully, So I went to the store to Petco with Duke to help to pick out a toy, because one of my friends, Leslie, who did one of my Facebook Live, she did Dharma Talk Tuesday 2 weeks ago. She's an animal communicator, and she was like, Duke wants a baby. So we went to Petco. He picks out a fucking Darth Vader toy. That's his new baby, and he is now, it no longer has stuffing because the stuffing is on my floor. Anyway, so I just want to start with that little tangent about resistance and about when you are getting shut down logistically, like a video getting deleted, or energetically, like losing inspiration, losing clarity, losing focus, distractions. Like those are energetic obstacles that are in the ethers that you generate, right? Because manifestors, like a Dharma queen, gets that she is manifesting her entire reality 100%. A Dharma queen is manifesting 100% of her reality 100% of the time. So if you're experiencing resistance or lack of clarity or fogginess, guess who is the generator of that? Not something outside of you, it's you. This is such a tangent from what I was going to talk about, but obviously someone on here needs to hear it. So it's inside of you. So you get to shift, and that will segue me into this week's topic, which is energy set points and shifting your manifesting thermostat. Increasing your manifesting thermostat, increasing your manifesting of wealth, increasing your manifesting of what you want to experience of like love, let's say in a relationship, or feeling great in your body, or feeling time spaciousness, or like career freedom, and these sorts of things. So I'm just going to check on the comments really quick and say hi to people now that I can see them. And by the way, if you know someone who would find this topic very valuable, I recommend you hit the share button right now and invite them on, because you never know when this video is going to get deleted. All right, Shawnee, Natasha, Giselle, Danielle, Diane, hello there, Nikki, hello. Diane says, poor birdie, gotta love Duke. Seriously. Kathy, Natasha, no more time change. Anne, Cheryl, Chandra, Carrie, what's up? Shannon, hello. Chrissy, she says, that is so funny. Darth Vader, especially with your Star Wars marathon earlier this year. I know, Chrissy, it's like he was watching it with us and he picked it out, and like we're on the same page. I think also Leslie specifically said he wanted a baby. And so Darth Vader's obviously black and Duke is black, so maybe he sees himself in it. I don't know. Anyway, Evelyn, so great to see you. I've been praying for your husband's mom every single day and what you guys are going through and praying for peace of mind over you guys. Amy, hello. Okay, and like I said, now is the time to share this with your friends by hitting the share button or tagging them in the thread to include them in this conversation. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. All right, so let's talk about the money thermostat. And this goes for like any thermostat. As I was saying, this is like your manifesting thermostat. So your money thermostat / manifesting thermostat is where you sit on the vibrational scale. So there's a vibrational scale that goes from 0 to 1,000. 0 is a vibration. Let's attach an emotion to it. It's an emotion, a vibration of shame, of guilt, that sort of thing. Those are the lowest tiers. The middle tiers of the vibrational scale are desire, courage, even anger. Anger is actually in that middle vibration. There's a strength and a passion around it. The highest level of the vibrational scale is enlightenment, love, peace. Those are the highest levels. And there's experiences that you have in your external reality that reflect and are manifestations of the vibrational scale that you're, like where you're hanging out on the vibrational scale. So the person who is hanging out in the shame and guilt emotion a lot is going to manifest an experience in her external reality that causes her to feel more shame and guilt. It's going to look like debt. It's going to look like owing people money. It's going to look like discomfort in her body. I'm just giving you some examples. These are some examples. It's like, even as I'm saying this, like I can feel an energy descend upon me that feels shitty. So that's that vibrational scale. Going midway up, you've got like courage, and it's like, okay, I'm fighting against something. I'm feeling fear and I'm doing it anyway. That's the definition of courage. You've got desire, like, ooh, I want that thing. Like I'm no longer feeling apathy because that was lower on the vibrational scale. Now it's like, I want that thing. I have a desire for that thing. And maybe it's a little bit outside of me, but I have a strong desire for it. And then moving right along up, like when you get to the very top of the vibrational scale, you've got enlightenment and peace and joy. And that's where, I mean, you can imagine what that would be in your life, right? Like imagine in your specific life, because everyone's different. So like peace looks different for different people, you know, like for Richard Branson, peace is running 200, 400, whatever companies and having 400 whatever CEOs. Like for someone else, that would not be very peaceful. For someone else, peace is being a mom at home with 8 kids and having all the babies running around. Like that's peaceful for her. That would not be peaceful for me. Peace is all the hundreds of my clients getting epic results and being a magnet to the person who I can make the biggest difference for and making the biggest possible impact, having like, well, I mean, peace, like the highest level of vibration, having millions of dollars liquid in my bank account, like I see that as a very peaceful experience. And everyone is different. So that's just like a vibrational set point for me. Everybody is different. So my point is that you're at different points in the vibrational scale. I'm doing a vertical one because I see it as vertical. You're going to manifest a different experience in your reality. A lot of people think that it's like when I have $1 million, I will have peace. And it's actually the other way around. It's when I'm generating the vibration of peacefulness inside of me, I will be in alignment with $1 million. Or people think that, you know, when I am beautiful enough or thin enough, I will attract the man of my dreams, let's say. And again, no, it's when I feel confident, when I feel self-assured, when I feel complete and whole, that's so when I feel that on the inside, no matter how I look on the outside, I will be a vibrational match to that relationship experience. Hearts and likes if this is making sense. And I would love to know in the comments, I mean, peace is one of my greatest valued experiences. Like peace is super important for me. So I would love to know in the comments what your highest vibrational experience looks and feels like. What is that vision that you have? Like if you could raise your energy set point all the way up to 1,000, the highest possible level, like imagining what that would look and feel like just write that in the comments. Describe to us what that experience is. And in writing in the comments, you will actually probably inspire someone else like, yes, I want that too. So please share with us what that highest possible vibrational experience is for you. Okay, so I am going to share with you, I'm just consulting my notes, I'm going to share with you on this Dharma Talk Tuesday what I shared in that very popular Dharma Talk Tuesday, which is going to show you exactly how to shift your energy set point. So no matter where you are on the vibrational scale, I'm going to teach you exactly how to shift your energy set point to get to where you want to be. I mean, maybe you want to be at 1,000. I see it as this, you guys. If I can affect a certain threshold of people to be hanging out at 1,000 on the vibrational scale, do you know what that means? That means that there's going to be a tipping point in terms of the impact on this planet, because again, that means the planet's vibration will change. And if the planet's vibration starts to change, the experiences the planet is having, the planet body will change. So that is actually how we solve global warming. That's how we solve the issue of getting rid of human trafficking forever. Like when you commit to raising your vibrational level to 1,000, you're becoming, like, just by your being, you don't have to do anything. Although there are actions that follow and that are important in that dance between doing and being, for sure. But if your intention, like I tell my clients, your goal is to go high vibe. Like, I don't care what the experience is, what the mechanism is. When your intention is to be high vibe, you will generate a mechanism and action and the details that support that vibration, because if that's your intention, you literally can't attract things that are not in alignment with that intention, right? Debbie says, peaceful, acceptance, joy, healthy, and powerfully connected to my source messages. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Debbie. Okay, I would love to hear from the rest of you. Comment. And it's so cool, like when you comment, you're actually sending a message to the universe saying specifically, hey, this is what 1,000 on the vibrational scale means for me. Like, let's start calling this in. It's like when you're clear, this is one of the things I taught in a recent course, actually, my Money Manifestation Secrets course. When you're clear on your desires, that's step number 1 out of the 4 steps. When you're clear on your desires, like that's how you start to call things in. If you don't know what you desire, if you're not clear on your desires, it's literally impossible to manifest. So by you commenting in this thread, you're taking step number 1 of Money Manifestation Secrets, which is to get clear on and share your desires. Christy says, joy and compassion, financial security, spaciousness in my schedule, community with uplifting real people for me in my schedule, a home that feels sacred and beautiful, support. Beautiful. Thank you, Christy. Cool. Keep the comments coming. So just a few examples of what some people made possible as a result of doing what I'm about to share with you. One person actually quit her job. She's one of my clients, and she hated her job. She'd been in it for years, and she finally got to a point where she was like, she's an esoteric teacher of manifesting, just like me in a lot of ways, although I have a whole pragmatic program called Maya, which teaches you how to manifest clients through workshops. But she actually was able to quit her job, and this happened a few weeks ago. And now she's fully focused on her business, her family. She travels internationally. She's been to Europe 2 or 3 times just this year. Pretty epic. So that's one example of the power of this work. I have another client who generated 2 $5,000 sales in the span of 1 hour. One of them was literally just sitting down to eat and engaging in a 15-minute conversation. And then it's like, oh, here you go, credit card information. Like that literally happened. I had another one who generated receiving $24,000, which cleared her entire credit card debt. Like her number one desire, her intention was to get rid of all her credit card debt. She had $24,000 in debt, and she received $24,000 in cash. Like that was it. And she cleared her entire, and like that was her goal, and that was what she manifested doing this work. I have a whole list here of examples, but I'm going to move on to content, hearts, and likes. I think you guys are getting the point. Let's see. Diane says, clarity, security, connection, love, passion, fun. I love that you're including those, Diane. Joy, spaciousness, and abundance in all areas of my life. Shawnee, clean, organized, clutter-free house. Love that. Shannon, powerful, loving, and fully aligned in abundant God consciousness. 1 million a year, hell yeah, and traveling and living a peaceful life. Art, pleasure, depth. Ooh, I love that so much. Stability in home and the facilities to travel, with ease and grace, power and strength. What a great answer, Shannon. Thank you. Christy, yes, clear credit card debt, clear clutter. You see how when you comment, you give each other ideas? Thank you all for sharing. So, all right, let's talk about this. Energy set point shift, changing your manifesting thermostat. So wherever you are on the vibrational scale, anywhere between 0 and 1,000, which we honestly fluctuate a little bit. There's like a fluctuation between, like there's kind of like a threshold. And that's one of the reasons why, like, you will bump up. Like, you'll probably have an experience where you manifest a client or a pay in full or something like that. And then you're like, yay, I just manifested like $10,000. Like, this is the best day ever. And then the following day, it's like you need to get new tires. Or it's like the following day, someone in your family gets sick and you need to cover their costs. Or like the following day, someone messages you and maybe you like get a tax bill or something, and something happens where it's like now it's as if that $10,000 never happened and you're right back to where you were in your manifesting thermostat. And I see that all the time. And that's why people say things like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What they're referring to is I'm waiting to be like brought back down to my manifesting thermostat, to my energy set point that I'm used to hanging out at. No matter how much it's like 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, 2 steps forward. And it's this very frustrating energy of hanging out at that same thermostat. So it's instead of just like settling at that same thermostat, wherever it is on the scale, how about we grow? And how about we learn how to do something where we can shift our vibrational set point, our energy set point, so we're moving up the vibrational thermostat. And that's what we're talking about for the rest of this conversation. Okay, the first thing you want to do is focus on a shift in your physical vibration. So, just to give you an example. Hi, Bridget! What's up? So good to see you. Thank you for joining. Claudia Whitney, one of my very first yoga teachers who taught me so much of what I know and who I am today. Claudia, I love you. Thank you for joining us. Changing your physical vibration, perfect topic. So to use Claudia as an example, I met Claudia when I was living in Hong Kong. I was honestly I was okay. I was kind of on purpose. I was a grad student studying marine mammal ecotoxicology, and that's pretty cool. I was like going out on the boat and hanging out with dolphins, and that was pretty cool, but I still wasn't totally on purpose. I manifested a full scholarship to go to school for a topic I wasn't actually qualified in. However, the money that I made was not really enough to live in a city like Hong Kong, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So I still had some lower vibrational experiences happening in my life, like not being able to afford the things I wanted to afford, accumulating a little bit of debt, still feeling kind of off purpose-wise, that sort of thing. So what ended up happening was I got invited to go practice at this studio, which I honestly couldn't afford at the time, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. And I ended up going, and I didn't take Claudia's class that particular day. I took a random person's class. But what I discovered was my physical vibration coming out of the yoga class was like unrecognizable compared to what it was when I went in. And then I ended up signing up, even though I was totally out of my budget. And I ended up getting to practice with incredible epic teachers like Claudia and my other teachers there. And it's so cool because literally 7 days later, because I ended up shifting my physical state, I ended up manifesting a job that was resonant with the new vibration that I was hanging out at, where I got paid double what I got paid for the studentship, where I got to teach kids dance, which was so fun because I got to work with kids and I got to teach them dance, which was like, that's so on purpose for me. I love dancing. I've been dancing my whole life and choreographing my whole life. So that's what ends up happening. Like miracles like that start to happen when you start to move up the vibrational scale. So changing your physical vibration. I recommend yoga as the #1 best way to change your physical vibration. Although a lot of different people, going for a walk with your dog or jumping on a trampoline, there's a lot of different ways people like to do it. But the reason I recommend and use yoga as a way to change your physical vibration is because it's an art and it's a science that goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years as a means of helping people achieve enlightenment, which is the highest level vibration, let's not forget. So that's one of the reasons why at Dharma Live, my upcoming event, December 15th and 16th, I start the day, like I have a speaker coming in on the first day, like a guest speaker. And she was like, okay, what are you going to be doing before I go on? And I was like, we're going to be doing yoga. She was like, you start your day doing yoga? I was like, fuck yeah, we do. And the reason is because I know that if I can just get people, there's three things I need to do. One of them, the very first one, is to get you to change your physical vibration. And if I can get you to change your physical vibration, you're going to have a miraculous weekend. So we start the entire weekend, even though it's more business oriented and money manifesting oriented, we start the entire weekend in downward facing dog. And I'm a DJ, so I curate an epic playlist, of course, to take you on a musical, transformational, physical vibration journey through a yoga practice. Because if you change your physical vibration, you're now able to see solutions that weren't there for you before. I love this example of a client that I was working with who was a branding specialist, and she was struggling with raising her prices. And she shared with me that she had been resisting her yoga practice, which often happens. Again, that's where like we're resisting something that's going to help us. So she was resisting her yoga practice. She finally stopped resisting it. She hit the mat. Her intention was to get clear on her new price point. The new price point, she like opened up to a new physical vibration. The new price point dropped into her consciousness with ease as she was on the mat, and it was like 800 something a month at the time, which was like huge for her. And she ended up getting on the phone with someone right after that practice, and that person said yes with no objections to her offer, to her package, to work with her. Okay, so the first step in changing your manifesting thermostat to change your energy set point, to shift your energy set point, is to change your physical vibration. That's the first step, and it's so key. It's why my clients in the Maya program, Money Alignment Yoga Academy, before we do anything else, before we talk strategy, before we do anything else, I give them a yoga practice to shift their physical vibration. So it's their anchor. I call it their anchor, and they can come back to it, and they must come back to it every time they're experiencing resistance. Thank you for the hearts and likes. So appreciate that. Let's go on to step 2. The question that you get to ask yourself as you decide that you're ready to shift your manifesting thermostat, shift your energy set point. The question you get to ask yourself is, does anyone know? Type in the chat if you think you know. The question is 5, 4, 3, 2 and a half. 2 1/4. Let's see if Julie knows her fractions. Okay, the question that you get to ask yourself is, what am I willing to be wrong about? And what's cool about that question is this. Humans love to be right. Think about it. We love to be right. Like the last time you had an altercation with your spouse or your boyfriend or your friend or whoever, it probably was because you wanted to be right about your point of view, or they wanted to be right about their point of view. And you're the same way with the universe. If you're not getting what you want or at the level that you want it, it's because you're probably really committed to being right about your limitations. You're really committed to being right about all the reasons why you can't. Christy, what am I willing to be wrong about? I do love being right. Every human does. We all do. We truly do. Matt and I laugh about it now, where like we're talking and if I'm tired and like not as conscious as I usually am, I'll say something where like I'm wanting to like win the conversation and be right. And he just looks at me and I'm like, oh, let me just rewind. Let me just rewind right there. We'll laugh about it now. He's like, wow, you really wanted to be right about that one. I was like, I sure did, but I'm willing to be wrong now. So it's the same with the universe. What are you willing to be wrong about? Because if you're willing to be wrong, what that means is that you're able to let go of your current set point, to let go of your current energy set point, to let go of your current area where you're hanging out on the money thermostat and pop up a level, pop up a notch from, 400 to 450, to pop up a notch from 500 to 600. But you're not going to be able to pop up a notch to change your vibrational field, to change what you're manifesting and attracting at that vibration, if you're committed to being right about the limitations that are keeping you at that lower level. So you gotta be willing to be wrong. The opposite side of the coin of that question of what am I willing to be wrong about is what is ultimately true with a capital T? What is true with a capital T? So like God, like let me just talk about it from like a God perspective. There's no poverty in heaven. There's no sickness in heaven. And I really believe that it's God's will that we have heaven here on earth. And the only reason why we don't have a heaven here on earth is because of human fucking free will, where we're committed to being right about our limitations. That's my honest belief and truth. So what's true with a capital T is that heaven is meant to be present here on earth. And if it's not, it's because we are really committed to being right about our limitations. So the first question is, what am I willing to be wrong about? Am I willing to be wrong about my limitation? Am I willing to be wrong about being confused? Am I willing to be wrong about being not qualified? Am I willing to be wrong about not being clear? Because what's ultimately true? What's ultimately true is there is a dharma that was placed in my heart, a calling that was placed in my heart, a talent, an ability, a passion, a certain set of skills that I've developed over the course of my life that I'm kick-ass at and that I can help a lot of people with and that I do help a lot of people with. And it's very valuable and I can totally charge more for this and I can raise my price point. I'm just thinking about some of you who are live right now and speaking into that. That's what's true is people value what I do and I can literally save lives. I can save relationships. I can help people lose weight. I can show people a whole new way to experience the one precious life that they were given. That's what's ultimately true with a capital T. And you have to be more focused on that than on the limitations. And that's where the first question of what am I willing to be wrong about becomes pretty instrumental. Okay, so that's number 2. Hearts and likes if this is awesome and you're so excited about this breakthrough content that got deleted the first time around that I did it. All right, let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is a very important question. And it harkens back to, it's an ode to the late and incredible Jim Rohn, who says, we're the sum average of our 5 closest friends. So that suggests that it's very important to consider who's in our corner. Who are we hanging out with? Am I more connected to people who are kind of like lower vibration, if we're going to go back to the energy set point scale? Am I more connected to people who are higher vibration? Like, you want to be a millionaire? Hang out with millionaires. You want to, like, for example, the person that I coach with has everything I want. She's got her company is tens of millions of dollars. She's got a great marriage, children, a puppy who's also crazy. She's got like a beach house. I got a lot of those things too, actually. I've got a crazy puppy. I've got a beach house. Checking the boxes on those lists, that part of the list. But I don't have a $10 million or, $10 million plus dollar company. So, she's got she's got a great team. And I think about the people who I hang out with. That's one example. Another example is someone who has a multiple 8-figure company, and he's just a beautiful human, I just think about these people because that's the direction I want to go. Not everyone wants a multiple 8-figure company, and that's fine. Maybe that person, maybe what someone else wants is like an extraordinarily happy relationship. Awesome. Then hang out with other people who are in extraordinarily happy relationships. You must be in accompaniment with, you must be in partnership with, hanging out with people who are the sum average of what you want to be experiencing. Emily, hi! And she's saying hi to her sister, Bridget. Yes, Christy says we are the sum total of our 5 closest friends. So who's in your corner? You got to really ask yourself this. And this is one of the reasons why I host in-person events for my clients, because when they get together in person, that's when the biggest shifts happen, because then it's like they're really clear on who's in their corner. That's why they maintain long-term international friendships with the people who they were in Maya with or in our programs with, because it's like life-changing to be in relationship with people who are up to the same things as you are, who get what you're up to, who get what you want to create, right? So if you are not in relationship or only in relationship with people who are experiencing or having or generating or creating what you want, you just get to reassess those relationships. And one of the things I taught in my Money Manifestation Secrets course, the 4th module, is how to handle the naysayers. And I'll just tell you, one of the big components of that is being high vibe, being 1,000 on the level of the vibrational scale. So think about who in our humanity's history was 1,000. Like, well, Jesus Christ was 1,000. There's actually, you can look it up. You can look up David Hawkins and his vibrational scale and who was 1,000 on that level. Jesus Christ. Buddha, I think, was 1,000 too. And there are certain other historical figures who were at that level. But like, let's take Jesus, for example. Like, the biggest paradigm that Jesus brought to humanity was forgiveness. So you start being forgiving. Now you're hanging out in the 1,000 realm on the vibrational scale. What do you think you're going to attract? Not just in your relationships, but also in your money and in your peace of mind and in your spaciousness and all of these things that I heard you guys list, your joy, your passion. If you're 1,000 on the vibrational scale. So you think about people who have and who are calling in and manifesting the things that you want. And you got to ask yourself, like, what are their emotions? What are their ways of being that are reflective of where they hang out on the vibrational scale? And then you start doing that. And you start hanging out with those people and making sure that you're surrounded with and in accompaniment with those people. I have no idea what time it is, but I have a call at 6:30. Let me see what time it is. I can't see from here. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But what I am gonna do is let you know that I have, I don't really have this happening very often, but my November is quite open, and I have 7 spots this week for energy set point shift sessions where I literally go into your energy and like move a few things around and tweak it and give you specific one-on-one coaching. It's a 20-minute coaching call that typically actually goes a little bit longer. Sometimes they even go up to an hour, but I have them in, the booking link is 20 minutes. And I have 7 of those, and they're only $67 fucking dollars, which is so crazy because I usually sell this in a package that's like $500 something, and I am just gonna do it for the grace of God and being giving and in the spirit of the Thanksgiving holidays this week for $67, but I only have 7 spots. So if you know for sure that you want some one-on-one time for me to go into your energy and just like tweak a few things and support you in creating that energy set point shift to move you up on the vibrational scale, I am going to recommend, I just saw Emily posted the time. You are so sweet. Thank you so much, Emily. I'm going to recommend you grab one of those spots ASAP. I only have times open for this week. And if you absolutely cannot make a time this week, then just hit me up via Facebook Messenger and we can talk about that. But yeah, I've got 7 times open for this week. You're going to see more times, but in the end of the day, only 7 spots are open. So I'm going to post the link as soon as I hop off for you. Actually, no, I think I can post it right now. Let me see here. Okay. Here is, oh, poop. Okay, I'm going to post this for now, and then I have the other link that I'm going to post. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments or questions. If you're watching the recording, post your comments or questions. And I'm going to hop off because I am a few minutes late to this call that I'm supposed to be on. But I love you. I'm sending you so many blessings. I will be on next week, 6 o'clock Pacific, here in the Dharma Talk Tuesday chair for our weekly Facebook Live. I hope you have an extraordinary, beautiful week, and I will see you then.